What's going on, everybody? This is your girl, Chantel Shink.
And this is Crystal Levette.
And you're listening to Conversations at the Compound.
We're about to get it cracking, talking about some things to spark some conversations, to spark some thoughts.
Food for thought.
And to maybe just open you up to another way of doing things, another way of thinking. We are here to talk about stuff and give our opinion on it unapologetically.
Yeah, it's been good. We're on a relationships series right now where we've been talking about just different relationships and having dialogue about all types of relationships, because when you think about it, there's nothing to life but love and relationships, and how we handle relationships is everything.
Right.
It can be the difference between life and death, literally.
Right. I mean, a bad relationship can literally suck the life out of you.
Yeah. Or a bad relationship can literally kill you. Like if you're in an abusive relationship with somebody, they can literally take your life. It's happened several times and countless times. So I just think it's an important conversation piece. And
you got to also say that at the same time, a beautiful relationship can breathe life into you,
That's
inspiration, growth, opportunities. Like, good relationships can be good for your health as well. And so we just want to explore this whole relationship topic. I mean, I feel like this topic could go for days.
Yeah, forever. Forever.
Like, for real. Yeah. I don't think you can really ever get tired of talking about it or exhausted, because relationships are a reflection of people, and people have so many layers.
Right.
People have so many sides. Some people got multiple personalities. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot to talk about.
Right. Well, we were, having this series, and I had an incident happen to me that made me say, this is a good conversation piece. It's something great for us to talk about on the show.
Okay.
So let me tell you what happened. This was a few years ago. It wasn't recent, but I was reminded of this.
Okay. And are we going to say names or?
No.
Because a sister like me don't mind saying names.
No, it's more about the it's more about the incident than the people involved.
Okay.
But so I have a friend. This is a conversation piece all in itself. A male friend, good friend that I've known for years. Like, I'm saying 5+ years, 6+ years, whatnot. We hadn't seen each other in a while, and we ran into each other, and we were like, you know what? We need to get together. Let's do coffee. Let's chop it up. Let's talk. Blah blah blah. Let's catch up.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, we agreed to do that, and we were supposed to meet up. I think at like a coffee bean or some coffee spot the next day. So the day of the event, not the event, but the day that we were supposed to meet up, I get a text from him saying, I'm so sorry, I'm going to have to cancel. We're not going to be able to chop it up and meet. My girlfriend doesn't feel comfortable.
Okay.
So I didn't, I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever.
Right.
Because I didn't feel like talking, making a big deal out of it. But I felt like that was ridiculous.
Right.
I felt like it was ridiculous that we couldn't sit down and catch up because his girlfriend, not his wife, and even that is up for debate, but his girlfriend felt uncomfortable.
Okay, so I definitely feel like we need to bust this wide open, and really get into the meat of this topic of relationships and the different sides. And particularly, we're talking about dysfunctional relationships today.
Because to me, that was 100%, 1,000% dysfunctional.
Right.
I didn't really know his girlfriend like that, but based off of that whole encounter, I knew that she was off her rocker.
What do you mean?
That she was off. That she was probably possessive and controlling.
Got it.
Because it's coffee.
Right.
And you are dating him.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that those are signs. Like, that was a sign to me of somebody that has insecurities and that is kind of off, right?
Right.
In relationships. And I want to go ahead and say now that this was years ago, but that was in hindsight. But now facts, which I found out is, in fact, she was off for a rocker. And she was like a stalker chick. Like she would be waiting outside
the ringer.
Yeah, waiting outside, looking, trying to find out where he been, like just the stalker chick.
And the thing is this, though, they love Chantel. The thing is this: that's not the only thing and the only type of dysfunction that's happening in these relationships. And you made a good point. These are girlfriend-boyfriend relationships. Right. These are dating relationships. This is not even with the commitment of marriage. Mm-hmm. And you have someone who's making that type of a decision based off of a girlfriend. Mm. And in my observation...
Can I just say something real quick right there? This is a twofold responsibility, right? So my other part of this is, one, in this scenario, she was way out of her range of authority to demand and tell him and dictate to say, I don't want you to have one-on-one coffee with her, right? But then he let her demasculate him by actually agreeing to that.
Right.
I know that this is not popular what I'm saying.
Right.
But I'm just telling you my mindset, how I feel about the scenario. I know many of you listening feel totally different about it, but I feel like as a man, if your woman is telling you who you can and can't see, that you're dating, that you're not even married to, you haven't even put a ring on it, and you may not even be monogamous with, then you get played and you a punk.
Right.
Like you letting the girl demasculate you.
Well, this is what I think. I think that in relationships, I do believe that you have to be considerate of the other person. And I would probably say in his defense, he made that decision based on trying to be sensitive to his woman. And he made that decision based on trying to be a good boyfriend and respect boundaries. But I think that in relationships, especially dating relationships, the lines are blurred.
Right. 100% in 2020, 2021, in this time of day, the 21st century, the lines are completely blurred and out of control.
But in defense of this generation, I do want to say that the standards of relationships and living back in the day was off too.
Right.
Like, I think so I'm saying in essence, we still haven't got it yet.
No, yeah.
Like this relationship thing. We have not, as a nation, as a people, mankind, humanity, we haven't mastered it yet.
No.
Because I've seen some things.
Right.
I mean, and my observation is that lines are blurred, roles are being demanded, and there are entitlements that should not be in place. There are responsibilities that should not be had.
Yeah.
Each party is not really holding up their full end of the bargain. And you got people who are acting like they married and they're not. And you got people in situations where they're holding the obligations of a real commitment, yet they don't have a real commitment. Wow. I'm talking about somebody dictating what the other person wears.
Right.
I've seen people in a dating relationship wanting to know where you going, who you going with, when you get there, let me know, and when you gonna be home. Right? I mean, I've heard personally of people that I know, they're dating and they got joint bank accounts. They sharing dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buying houses together, shacking up, living together, and she cleaning his drawers, doing his laundry, cooking his meals.
Oh, and she playing mama to his kids, or he playing daddy to hers.
Right.
Then dating relationship. Look, we gonna talk about this. Because then you got situations where you're just dating. Because listen, if you're not a husband or a wife, it ain't official. Like this, okay, and that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, which we should do.
We will do because in my own mind, this is me, Crystal Yvette. I don't speak for anyone but myself, and I thank God we live in a free country. I have the right to my own opinion, and I'm gonna speak my opinion. And this is how I feel about it. Right. But I feel like if you are not a wife or a husband, you don't count.
Right? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, what I mean is, if you're not a wife or a husband, as far as I'm concerned, you still single.
Right.
Because if you die, girlfriend don't get rights.
Right. That's true.
If she dies, boyfriend don't get rights.
Nope.
The country, this is how I look at it. If the government don't acknowledge you, I ain't acknowledging you. So that's a whole nother story. As far as I'm concerned, I think a man who has a girlfriend is still fair game.
They say all is fair in love and war.
I mean, I think not disrespectfully, like, but I'm saying in a situation where if you really feel like there's something there and it's something that you want to go for, I would not encourage a person don't do it necessarily because he got a girl.
Right.
I know y'all want to hear this, but I'm just saying, like, you have a right to it.
Yeah.
If that person hasn't gotten a ring, or that man has not put a ring on your finger and they haven't been willing to make that kind of commitment, and I have strong feelings or someone has strong feelings, I'll say, hey girl, shoot your shot.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, let's move on because that's a whole nother.
With that being said, I'm saying it's stuff that's going down in these relationships, man. And there's literally no commitment, but will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my boyfriend? And you straight living under all of this, like, control.
I mean, even like you got boyfriends, girlfriends. These are things that I've seen real life, and I'm sure people listening have seen it and much worse. Passcodes are issue. As my boyfriend or as your girlfriend, I deserve to have your passcode.
Okay, let's talk about it. I want to know what you think about that.
L9.
That's EL9. Okay? We don't be cussing up on here.
But no, seriously. No. I just think that's off. I think you are asking for privileges that come with with exclusive commitment.
Okay, but does it matter that we say we love each other?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we're still two separate human beings, and there has to be a dividing point that constitutes the difference between me dating you and me marrying you, even outside of just the paperwork. So my issues have been, my issue has been that I see so many women that are in relationships with men and they're playing a wifey role.
Right.
Like they are doing things that a wife should do.
Right.
They're expecting from their men things that a wife should expect from her husband.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just totally blurred. It's totally crossed. I have people in dating relationships where Instagram and Facebook, they will it could break your relationship up.
Right.
If you don't unfriend so-and-so.
Right.
Because she looked too sexy. Or if you don't like, or if you like in certain pictures.
But I will say, we live in a different time. And I do believe, I'm not saying I don't really know what I think about that just yet. But I will say that our culture now is become intertwined with social media.
Right.
So I don't think that in any relationship you can just ignore it.
No. But I'm saying we're dating, we're in a relationship, and let's just define this. We're talking about monogamous dating relationships.
Right.
Let's just say that across the board when we're talking about this.
And I want to say too, monogamous dating relationships where you say you love me and I say I love you. So this is a love relationship. Yeah, so it's not just we seeing each other. I'm only seeing you only see me. But we're talking about where people are professing love, care, all that stuff. Right. So this is supposed to be something with depth. We're talking about relationships of depth that should have a future, or the people involved believe that there's a future. Right.
Right. Okay. So with that being said, I still believe that we have expectations. I think that's what the dysfunctional part of this is that I feel like it's control.
So let me back you up. So you just said we're talking about monogamous dating relationships, love relationships. So before we can kind of go back and talk about some of these things in these relationships, how do you define a dysfunctional relationship?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yeah. I
think a dysfunctional relationship is a relationship that where you're in a relationship and you're doing things that married couples do. That you are providing services.
Okay.
You're providing privileges. Okay. I call them privileges that come along with you saying I do and saying that this is who I want to be with forever. More than anyone else.
Okay, now let me ask you something. You're talking about, and I want to just make a disclaimer. There are multiple types of dysfunction.
Right.
But we're talking about that particular side of a dysfunctional relationship.
Which particular?
What you just said.
Oh, okay.
Being in a dating relationship, but getting privileges and doing actions as if you were in a marriage relationship. That is dysfunctional. And that's really kind of what we're talking about. But I'm just saying, I know that there are other sides and kinds of dysfunctional relationships.
Okay, 100%.
So this is we're not generalizing and saying that's the only kind of dysfunctional relationship. I just want to say that.
All right.
So with that being said, I've seen a lot. And, I enjoy people watching. So, for me, relationships around me are just case studies. I'm just taking it in. I'm processing. I'm saying, ooh, not gonna do that. Ooh, that would never be me. I'm watching. I'm trying to learn to be better and to be solid.
Just let him do that?
Right.
Just let him say that?
Right. Trying to be solid, in my relationship. So I'm watching and learning. And the dysfunction that you're talking about, I hear what you're saying, but I think that people who are wrapped up in that dysfunction, I think that they would dare say that it's not dysfunction, it is compromise. It is love, because I love her, and she said she didn't want me to go coffee with you because she was uncomfortable. Because I love her, I had to cancel that appointment. Is that love?
No.
But doesn't love compromise?
I think love trusts. I think love trusts. I think if you love someone, you should be able to trust them to go have coffee with another female or another male.
Right.
And if you don't feel comfortable with that, then maybe you need to rethink if you need to be in a relationship with them.
Right.
Because then the other part of it is they go have coffee with somebody of the opposite sex. And what?
Right.
What's your concern?
What's your problem? Right.
What's your concern? Is your concern that when they have coffee that the girl's gonna like the guy or vice versa, push up on your man?
Right.
And then comes if your man can be pushed up on, and if your man can cheat on you, then you just saved yourself from a bad situation.
Right.
My thing is, we are two separate human beings coming together to add to one another's life. So not to dictate how each other should live their lives.
Right. So that's what. So if we get to the meat of it, what I'm hearing then really is a good part of the relationships where you see that type of thing that is really more control.
It's control and control and insecurities. Like me. Okay. So a man wanting to know where you are, it's a balance in that, because I can understand this is somebody I love. I want to make sure that they're good. I want to be aware, of kind of where the person is in case something pops off. That's one thing.
Right.
But me not telling you where I am
shouldn't be a problem.
Should not be a problem. And if it's a problem, then okay, why is it a problem?
Because you're not my husband.
Right. Why do you feel like you should know where I am and who I'm with every hour on the hour or every day outside of for safety reasons?
Right.
And my other thing is just me as a female, it's always one person in my life that knows where I am for the most part. It might not be my man.
Right.
Like the thing is that before we enter into each other's lives, we all are living our lives.
Right.
We all have our rhythm. We all have our pace. And if you are purpose driven, and you have goals and things that you're moving towards, then you moving and you shaking and you living your life. And this other individual comes into your life, they should be an asset and not grieve you and not you feeling some kind of way because you gotta check in and you gotta say, oh, let me pick this phone call up. Let me text this dude back real quick, or it's gonna be a problem.
Right.
If it's like that, will boldly proclaim and say that you are in a dysfunctional relationship and you may need to evaluate what's happening there.
Ooh, people don't want to hear that.
If a woman,
people don't want to hear this.
Yo, I even know somebody. Hey, facts. I even know of somebody who was so concerned with what their man was doing that they told him to write out a schedule.
Wow.
Write out the schedule for me.
Wow.
So that I know, she asked him to write his schedule out.
Wow. Girlfriend.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I don't think that even matters. Girlfriend, boyfriend.
Right.
I mean, God.
Married. It's one thing to write out a schedule because we need to figure each other's schedules out.
For some people, we trying to
whatever, blah 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 blah. But
we ain't got no kids, we ain't got no plans. You just want to know my schedule. That's crazy. That's next level. And then you have people who are dating who the man got some say so or think he has some say so about what she wears. I've seen that a lot.
Really?
Oh, you wearing that? Mm-hmm. Nah, you're not gonna wear that. Nah, you need to change. Oh, you got your legs all out, and he feels like he has a right to comment on her attire. I've seen that.
I feel like that's no. I feel like no. Heck no. Like no.
I think people need to know who they are before getting into a relationship, so that you don't get into a relationship and that person begins to define who you are. Because I think a lot of people get lost in these relationships and they feel these obligations because they're not solid in who they are. Someone who knows who they are and they're solid about who they are, I don't believe can get into a relationship and be manipulated and controlled that way. And that's one side. Yeah. And then you got the other side where you got the girls playing wife.
Oh my God.
Like full blown wifey. He up in your house or you up in his house. Y'all living together. Look, again, y'all need to know.
You watching, you babysitting their kids.
Look, y'all need to know. However people choose to live their life is how you choose to live your life. We ain't judging nobody. We just talking about it.
Yeah.
Right? And so you got homegirl. I mean, she taking down grocery lists. She going grocery shopping for the house. She making dinners, cleaning up, like you said, washing his drawers. That's crazy. And you're not even a wife.
Ring. You don't even have a wife. You don't even have an engagement ring, and that's still pushing it, even if you have an engagement ring.
That's crazy. I mean, I just do it float your boat. But me personally, have you ever heard the term "why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free"?
Right.
So I just feel like if people are in these relationships and they're playing these roles, but it's delusion. Like it's delusion because you have no real commitment. And this man can meet somebody any day and have what the world loves to call this connection and completely walk out on you.
Yep, I've seen it happen.
You giving him all these years of your life, playing wife, because you don't have his last name. He hasn't given you a ring. Girl, he not even paying your bills. You up in the house, y'all playing house, and he got you paying
and y'all splitting bills.
And y'all splitting bills.
Listen, this has become the norm.
It has.
And that's the problem. This has become the norm. People feel like it's normal. This is normal. That's not a big deal if he says, I understand. I wouldn't want him to go and have coffee with an ex-girlfriend or with a friend, and that's a female. People feel like this is normal. Oh, it's okay. I love him, so that's fine. I'll co-sign. I'll get the car in my name. He's so good to me. I feel like he's the one. So I don't mind. I don't mind if he doesn't like how this looks. If he don't like how wear that, that's fine. I'll check. That's These are the ways that you look at it. But my thing is this. We have to clearly take responsibility for who we are.
Yeah.
And we need to live our lives in a way that we are consistently building upon it in ways that make us happy, that give us peace, that give us joy, and give us fulfillment.
And I also want to say, I think that we have a responsibility to live our lives in that way, like you just said, but also to allow people to live their lives. And I just think it's too much codependency, and I think there's just too much control that's happening where people in relationships are not allowing people to be individuals.
Right.
We are not one person.
No.
You are not entitled to every single detail of my life.
Yeah.
Like, I have a right to know things about me that you don't know.
Right.
I have a right to have things going on in my world that you're not a part of.
Right.
Because I am me and you are you. And so you said it earlier, when relationships happen or someone comes into your world, they're supposed to be entering in something that's already moving.
Right.
Right? So when you met me, I was wearing high heels. When you met me, I had my little cute little red dress on.
Right.
When you met me, I had this guy, he was my best friend.
Right.
When you met me, I was sometimes, answer the call, sometimes I didn't. Like, you know what I mean? That doesn't change because now someone's in my world and they say they love me.
Right.
It doesn't change.
When you say you love me, that means who I am is all right with you, and you love you love me. When you say that you love me, then I'm assuming that you love who I am.
I just got an epiphany. You just said, when you say you love me, you saying you love who I am. And I just got an epiphany, okay? I just had a light bulb moment. I think that what happens in these so-called love relationships is that the person comes in and they want to now become the priority. But what's supposed to be is you coming in, you say you love me, but I am still my priority.
Right.
I think that's being lost. I think that people think now because someone's in the world that says I love you, so you get the three words that now you're supposed to build your life around them because you want to maintain that love. You want to keep that love. You want to keep that feeling of importance, of priority in someone else's life, right? Because when somebody tells you they love you, you now feel like a priority. You feel like you're important. So these people come into your life, some knowing, some not knowing, but they think I said I love you, we love each other, so I should be your priority. No.
Wow.
This relationship is not my priority. I will always be my priority. Because if I am my priority, then I can treat this relationship properly. But the moment you become my priority and we become my priority, I lose myself. And then I say, okay, I'll change my dress. Oh, yeah, I'll give you my passcodes. Yeah, that's crazy.
But listen, check this out though. So the person comes in to your world and they say that they love you, right? So that love should be because of who you are.
I feel like the key word is should be, but go ahead.
Yeah, because of who you are.
Right. For who I am.
Right then. Because before I started dating you,
right,
before we started being exclusive,
right,
I was doing what I was doing and you were doing what you were doing.
And you fell in love with that.
You fell in love with that. So how come after we come into this commitment, you start expecting different things from me that's outside of who I am and who you know me to be?
Okay.
When you fell in love with me.
Right, but I want to say this. I think that's what I said earlier. Coming into relationships, you have to be a strong person and know who you are, because people, knowing or unknowing, I don't know, but people will push you as far as you let them.
That's right.
By that I mean, we just started seeing each other.
Right.
And I called you at 8.
Right.
You don't call me back till tomorrow.
Okay.
When we get on the phone, the first thing out his mouth is, I called you. Why didn't you call me back?
Oh, man.
Boom, right? Boom. Come on, y'all already know what time it is. Boom. At that point, because I know who I am, right? And we're developing this love relationship, I have the responsibility to say, okay, hold on.
Right.
I know that you called me. And I'm calling you back now. Let me just let you know, checking me like that is not going to work. I'm not going to answer every time you call, nor am I going to feel the need to explain why I didn't answer your call.
And guess what? So, me even personally, when I'm in a relationship or talking to somebody, those words never come out of my mouth.
Right.
On purpose.
Right.
I don't ask you that, so you don't ask me that.
Right.
I like on purpose. I may feel like some kind of way.
Right.
But I never say that. I within myself, I've said to myself, I'm not gonna clock somebody like that. I'm not gonna be like, why didn't you call me back? Why da 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 da? I'm just not gonna do that.
Right.
So I don't have the expectation from the other individual as well.
Right.
So the thing is, this is the thing. So when you operating in this place that we're talking about, then you can't get mad at him.
Right.
And feel some kind of way at him if he says the same thing to you. If you call him and he don't pick up or he don't call you back until the next day.
That's what I'm trying to say. I think that most women, most people, I say women because I know we can be more emotional.
Right.
We can be more clingy, right? But I think that a lot of people don't have that ability. They don't have that ability to not care if it's done on the other side. Right. So they reciprocate and they give that information because they want that information.
Right.
Most women, a lot of women, sorry, I'm not going to generalize us all because I'm not like this, but a lot of women, they do want to know where you are.
Right.
They do want to know why you didn't answer that call.
Right.
We want to know where was you at last night because
right.
I called you 3 times and you didn't answer, and then I text you and I said that it was red. Right? That's how women, that's how we can be. Maybe we detail oriented, whatever. I think a lot of people can be wired that way. So, in order to be able to get that information, I now have to surrender information.
It's reciprocity where you have to give it. If I give it, that means I expect to get it.
Right. And so then you build a relationship.
Yep.
Based on those obligations,
your own what you need,
right? So I'm saying, really and truly, we create these monsters of relationships, and then we get in them, and it's completely out of control, and it's way too much for a dating relationship. We're talking about you don't have a ring on it. This man has not made a lifetime commitment to you. He is not giving you his last name.
Nope.
And then my thing is, okay, so you want to know where I'm at. You want me to answer every call? Do you think you can comment on what I wear? Are you paying my bills?
I don't think you do. So
I'm pretty sure you sang on the last episode. I mean,
this, like I said before, out of control. It's out of control. This is out of control.
And it's not healthy.
It's not. It's so dysfunctional. It's so dysfunctional. It comes back to knowing yourself, man, and loving yourself, and being able to live this earth okay and fulfilled with you as you are before you bring another party in.
Yeah.
This is how people get into abusive relationships, because it's the people that I know people who you think they would never let a man yell or scream at them, or they would never let a man or stay with the man if they put hands on them, but they end up staying. Right. And it all goes back to how you value yourself ultimately. And I felt like that was very profound what you said about somebody saying that they love you, and in order to maintain that love, you feel like you have to
cater to their needs. Which I think there's some truth in that.
But you didn't. But no, I feel like you should be able to maintain who you are.
Right.
When they say I love you.
That's right.
Because you love me. You said you love me.
Right.
That's before I was catering to your needs. If I am the same individual that I was when you said that you love me, then what are we talking about?
Right.
You said you loved me before you had my passcode.
Okay.
You said that you loved me before, when you said that you loved me when I was posting these sexy pics on Instagram.
Right.
You said that you loved me when I didn't call you back or text you back every day.
Right. You said that you loved me when you knew that one time when you called, I was going out with my homeboy to kick
my bestie. It. Yeah.
You knew. So what you said, what are we even talking about?
And I think, you know what I think too? I think that when somebody says, I love you, and they say, I want to be monogamous or exclusive with you in a dating relationship, then that means it's a possessiveness maybe that takes place But I think that's misdirected, and that it's not about it's not about possessiveness. It's supposed to be a protectiveness, not a possessiveness.
And it's not validated if you ain't put a ring on it.
Right.
It's not validated if you've not made a commitment. And that leads me to like the next side of this conversation. When we were talking about these people in these relationships who are playing house. People who are in these relationships and you have joint bank accounts and you're in a dating boyfriend-girlfriend relationship and y'all sharing pets. Talking about, go with your daddy. You know, he gonna be with his daddy tonight. I'll bring Pookie to my house tonight. I want her for the night. Y'all sharing animals, commitments. You know, you're cooking for this man. You're cleaning his house. You're washing his clothes. You know, he got you laid up in his bed in his house, or you have him laid up in your house. No ring, no commitment. You know what I'm saying? And you have given passcodes. You know what I mean? Y'all having these conversations about passcodes. Talk to me.
Listen, because I'm me,
right?
This is so like,
it's wild to me.
It is mind blowing. If I can use it, it's mind blowing when I see this type of behavior.
And then, like I said before, and then you're in these situations, and y'all got the nerve to be splitting bills.
I might could understand if he's paying your rent, if he's paying your car note, like paying all of your bills. I may be able to understand a little bit more why the individual would think that they had some say-so. But even then, I would say, no, you don't have any say-so because you're the one who decided to do this.
Right.
I was paying my own bills. I was paying my own bills before you came along.
Right.
You're the one who decided that you wanted to do that. I didn't need you to do that.
I just think certain things should not be expected in a dating relationship.
Yes.
And I think that women, again, we like to spark conversations, thought, change.
Right.
And I think ladies consider that you are playing the wifey role without the wifey title. You are...
Or benefits.
You're giving him the benefits of a commitment that he has not given to you.
You're investing in him what a wife would invest into a man.
And same for men who, are investing in relationships and the woman's not giving back. Commitment is a real thing. Forever is forever.
And investment is a real thing.
Right.
Like you invest into a person and that a person should be invested in you in the same way.
Well, but this is the thing though. I do want to say in some scenarios they are. But do not marry. But the man has given a commitment. He's invested. She's given a commitment. She's invested. But there's no commitment of marriage and you are my choice for life.
It's crazy.
I mean, I will say...
listen, and then let me say this too, because some people might not even believe in marriage.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
Some people might not even believe in the institution of marriage.
Well, then have fun.
Not even
having rights to his life insurance policy. Have fun.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say that even within marriage, these entitlements still are suspect.
Yeah, girl.
That's what I would say.
I agree.
It's suspect still within marriage.
Yeah, man.
Like, listen, what's the point? Like, I have made a commitment to myself that I refuse to play these mind games.
Yes.
I refuse to play these control games. I refuse to play these games.
Play the guessing game.
Yeah.
Look, like you got something else going on, it's going to be revealed eventually.
Right.
And if I find out, I'll handle it accordingly. But God knows I'm not going to spend my time stressing out over what you're doing with your time, who you're with, where you're going, what's in your phone. Like, I just feel like we should have more going on in our lives to be living that way.
You're following some man around, sniffing behind some man.
But this is
trying to be a detective.
Listen, this is a real problem.
I'm out here making money moves and doing things for my life. You got me out here playing detective.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but this is normal for our society. We're living in a time where this dysfunction has become functional.
Normalized,
People have learned how to function within this dysfunction.
Listen, let me tell you something. You even have couples. They are not married. They're not engaged, but they're in couples therapy.
Wow.
And you dating. You dating and maybe thinking about getting engaged, and you're in couples therapy already.
What is that about?
That's called dysfunctional relationships. I feel like, you know what I know? I believe that a functional relationship is when when people can be who they are.
Right.
And they can be individuals, and they can strive, and they can shine, and they can grow without you dimming their light, or without you picking and nitpicking at them to become who you want them to be, or without you nitpicking at them to give you access to their life in ways that are not important like that.
Well, I think in hearing you say that, I think the issue really becomes what relationships are really about. And I don't think that people have the right perspective, or I dare say maybe consider your perspective on a relationship. Because by that I mean, you said it earlier, I'm living my life.
Right.
I'm going through life, and I am moving towards my goals, my dreams, my personal progress. This is me walking through life. Exhibit A comes, and he looks like everything that I ever thought of, that I ever dreamed of. He's now in my life, and he says he loves me and I love him. He had a life before me, and he's supposed to be walking through his life, living his life, doing his thing, shooting for his goals. When we come into each other's lives, he's not supposed to come in and fill a void.
Right, that's right.
He's supposed to come in and add on top of my full life. He's my cherry on top.
Right.
He's not the cake.
Okay.
Right? I've already baked the cake. I have put work in my own life to be who I am. Like I got
icing is on there.
Right. I got friends. You know, I got numbers in my phone. I got appointments. I got things. I have a cake already. You're not the cake. I have a cake. And I already put some icing on it. Yep, I done made some money. You know what I'm saying? It's edible. I'm making money. I'm doing my thing. I'm emotionally stable. I'm living my life. I got a full cake here. I don't need a cherry, right? Cherry's not necessary for a good cake, right? But the cherry on top, you adding to my life. My life continues, and you're an addition. And so now you come in and you add and you enhance my life.
Right. I don't need you to be the sugar. Right. I don't need you to be the egg. I don't need you to be the flour.
Right. So I don't need you to be my stylist.
No.
I was fine.
Right.
I don't need you to be a detective.
Right.
I'm good. I don't need you to be what is it? The question, the game with the questions. Wait, you asking me all these questions, 20 questions. I don't need you to be none of that in my life. No. You're my cherry. You're gonna add, and you're gonna add to everything that's happening in my world, and I'm gonna add to everything that's happening in your world. So what I think these people are getting into these relationships, and you coming in now, you think you complete me,
right? Oh Lord.
Right? And for whatever reason, I think or she thinks she completes you. So I've come and I've made your world whole. So now I'm all up in your stuff, and I have an entitlement to all that means stuff.
So
now there's no separation.
Now because I completed you, or because I quote unquote made your world whole, now I become a dictator within your kingdom. And the thing is that you should be the only ruler in your kingdom.
Now I want to say this. I think in relationships, communication is important.
Right.
I think respect is important.
Right. Mutual respect.
And I think that you do have to be considerate of one another, right?
100%.
So, I think that you can communicate. Mm-hmm. And you can say to me, babe, you wearing that dress? And I'm going to turn around and be like, yeah, this is my favorite dress. And you can be like, babe, I mean, you look good, but, you're my woman. Do you have to go out in that dress? I wish you wouldn't wear that dress.
And I'll be like, but this is the same dress I had on when you first tried to holler at me.
Right.
So what did you say?
Right. But my point is like, I feel like in relationships, you got a right to tell me how you feel.
That's right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Because I want to, it's important that we bring balance to everything, mm-hmm. right? It ain't, right? You have a right to tell me how you feel. But in addition to that, I want to say, but I can't control how you feel.
Right.
How you feel is not my problem. How you feel, that ain't on me.
Right.
You don't like the dress. That's your problem. That's not my problem. So, but in these relationships, they try to make it your problem, and they want to tell you to go change. You change it because you think it's a problem, right? But it's not. You're telling me you don't want me to wear the dress. Baby, I understand. But like you just said, I've been wearing this dress. I had this dress on when you met me. I might even just bought it yesterday. Doesn't matter. This is me. I'm wearing this dress. I hear you. And I think you have to communicate in relationships. And you got to be willing to hear that person out and hear what they have to say. But what they have to say and how they feel, that is not law.
Right. And this is what I was going to say in addition to what you're saying as far as the bringing of the balance. So then we have that conversation. Then it's up to you as an individual to say, I don't have to wear this dress. It's not a big deal. Cool. But you can say, no, I don't want to wear this. I don't want to wear this dress. Like, you have that right. Once you have that communication, and the person tells you how they feel about it, then you can weigh it. You weigh it because you love this individual. You're in a relationship with this individual. You care about what they feel and what they think. You want to do things that help to make them happy. Then you can decide whether or not what you want to do.
Let me ask you a question though. Do you think at certain levels that people don't even have a right to feel any type of way about what you're doing?
Yes. I think at levels until you marry.
Right.
And even then, it's still certain things that you still not controlling my life.
That's another way of thinking, man.
You still not controlling my life.
That's like a whole.
You are still not
level.
Controlling my life, because guess what? I love you, you love me, but 50-50. It's a 50-50 chance that this thing gonna work.
But that's a next level way of thinking. Because when you started off with your story, I dare say he was trying to be considerate of her feelings.
But he was allowing himself to be demasculated.
Right. So that's my point. But see, that's my point, that people don't see things that way. Like, understanding, like, at this point in the game, you're not my wife, so you don't have no opinion on nothing.
Right. That's right.
That's a hardcore way to be. But people, you got to keep your individuality. You got to keep your identity and who you are with
a woman asks you, where you going? Where you going? No, like, where you been? A woman, you a man. You a full grown man. Been paying your own bills, working a job. Some of y'all got kids. And then this woman is asking you, where you going? I feel like you're out of pocket.
You full grown.
I just feel like that's out of pocket. And I'm saying this is one thing conversationally, like, you talking about
how
stuff.
Was your day?
Yeah,
like,
that type thing. Yeah. But then it's a whole nother thing when you like interrogating me,
right? And
you asking me that because you want to know where I've been,
right?
Because you trying to control my moves,
what I'm doing, right?
That's not acceptable. And I just want to say to you men out there, be aware. Like, look, when you're dating a woman, when you talking to a woman, just be aware of her movements and how she's clocking you,
right?
And the kind of questions she's asking you, the demands that she's making and she's placing on you. All of those things, man, it all shows you whether or not she's mentally sound. Because a lot of y'all, I mean, they the girl ended up being off the chain that I'm talking about, and those were signs, because you're doing things, you're asking things from me they're not reasonable,
right?
Like, it's not reasonable. Like, that didn't make sense that your friend of 20 plus or 10 plus 15 plus years, you just got here,
right?
You knew, she's new, and then she's trying to dictate to you whether or not you can have coffee with a friend that you've known before her.
That's crazy.
That is out of pocket. It's out of line. And I think that, ultimately, we have to set the standard in our relationship. And I want to also say, guess what? When you let people live, you don't even have to ask things from them. They give it up freely.
Yeah.
Before, if you just stay being you and you let somebody live, let them live. Let him live his life. He should allow you to let you live your life. And these are things that you will normally and say it's natural. It's a natural progression of things where you don't even have to ask. He might say, "Oh, how you do? I have a friend that I was thinking about going to coffee with. Do you feel okay about it?"
Right.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's these people start to not, I don't want to say give up their rights, but they start giving up certain things naturally,
freely, and organically, versus you placing an entitlement and placing demands and stipulations on things. Listen, we're talking about relationships, you guys, and there are so many sides to relationships, and we promote healthy living and healthy relationships and balance and being able to be fruitful and productive. And I just know when you're in these type of situations, it messes with your productivity in other areas. It messes with your peace. It just creates more mental strain. And so, listen, everybody's doing what they're doing and they're living their lives however they see fit. But we just encourage you, reevaluate and look at the relationships and the standard that have been acceptable and ask yourself, is this really acceptable? Because, it's your life and you create the standard. The person in the relationship doesn't. You create the standard for what's okay for you. Right? And then you communicate that to the person that you're with.
And if they can't rock with that, then you're not for me. We're not for each other.
Right. But you don't need, you don't need to feel obligated to nobody but yourself.
Yep.
Right? I know that the face of things are altered in marriage, right? That's a whole nother conversation. But we're talking about this stuff that's happening in these so-called love relationships from the person you call your boo, but ain't put a ring on it and it's not giving you his last name. This is some real stuff, you know what I mean? And so I think some of us are allowing ourselves to go through unnecessary drama and unnecessary things that can really be corrected by just wait, let's rein this in a little bit.
Let me tell you who you're dealing with.
Right.
You gotta let people know.
And they can either rock with it or not.
Because it's a billion people in the world. That's what I'm going to say about that.
And I'm going to say this in closing. In closing, church. Listen, you don't owe nobody nothing. Not even in relationships.
No.
You don't owe anyone anything. I think one of the most profound things that you said I thought was this is the person you fell in love with.
Right.
You loved me when I was being me. When I was doing me.
Mm-hmm.
You were drawn in when I was doing me. So we don't now come into something exclusive and you trying to change me. Or you're trying to put restraints on me.
Boundaries on me. Yeah.
Or you're trying to obligate me and control me. Listen, control does not belong in a relationship.
No.
It just doesn't.
It doesn't.
I mean, honestly, the only person in this life that you're going to be really controlling is yourself, and maybe if you get a child. That's it.
Right. That's it.
And guess what? You lose that control at 18.
Yeah.
So this stuff, look, sister girl, don't let them control you, man. Man, you fine thing, you. No, don't let her control you.
Don't let her play you.
Don't let her control you and manipulate you and take your masculinity, your manhood. These girls out here, they stripping these men of their manhood.
Oh my gosh. It's bad.
It is bad. We love y'all, and we could probably go for another hour talking about relationships. But this has been good. I think it's been insightful. I think it's been enlightening, and I think
food for
it's
thought.
something to think about.
Something to think about. Just think about this, y'all. Think about it. Just think about it.
We talking relationships on Conversations at the Compound. And I think we have maybe a couple more in this series that we're going to be discussing. We'll move on to other things. But man, we could go all day on this topic. Because really and truly, I mean, relationships got people messed up. Yeah. They got people twisted the game.
They could be the most beautiful thing. Or it could be a horror, a nightmare.
And we're trying to help y'all to not live in horror. So tune in next time to Conversations at the Compound. This is your girl, Crystal Levette.
And your girl, they love Chantel.
Because y'all do love her. And we'll see y'all next time. Stay tuned.